All right. Hey guys. So today we are going to talk about goals for May, but in a different way than we've talked about them in the past. So I know that you all know how to look in your back office and say, okay, I need X amount of points to hit my goal. I've got Sally and Nicole and Sarah sharing, and they've got goals, and I'm going to try and get Macy silver this month and all that, right? You know how to get the numbers because we've done that before. You've heard it before. If you need help with that, ask your sponsor. But what we are going to talk about today is not so much the number crunching side of things. What we need to do is get our minds right and understand why we want to achieve that goal in May specifically, right? I'm not thinking about our 1 year, 5 year, 10 year plan. I'm talking about what does it mean for you to hit your goals this month? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your family? I want you to assign a dollar amount to that. What does that mean about you as a leader? All of that. And if thinking about that goal for this month is making you feel any kind of uneasiness, it's very normal because it's uncertain, right? We all are kind of uneasy about anything that's uncertain in our life, right? But if you're having feelings like, I don't know if I can do this, what will he think? What will my husband think? What will my mom think? What will she think? What will my friend online think? Or setting this goal scares me. Listen, we need to get out of our own way, first of all. Sometimes we find ourselves at the end of the month and we're trying to figure out what went wrong. We're doing all the right things. We had all this energy, but then we got inconsistent and we lost our steam and our actions were no longer pointing us in the right path, right? That's happened to probably every one of us on any given month. And it can feel like we need to be told what to do over and over and over again. And sometimes we turn to our sponsors or we look for trainings or we're like, okay, what do I need to do next? Maybe what I'm doing isn't working. But the truth is we all know what to do. Like I said, last time I came on here, there's like 5 activities that are like your basic IPAs. You know, you should be doing them, right? Sure, you can look for every script or every online event format or whatever, every, post in the book. But the better question is, how do I need to think about this? Who do I need to be in order to achieve the goals I've set for myself? How do I need to be showing up in my business? And if we don't have 100% belief in what we're doing here, it shows in our actions and in our results. People can sense it in our content. People can sense it in our messaging. And so I want to help us develop a strong sense of confidence so that we are purposeful and joyful in our businesses and not fearful and anxious and kind of uneasy about it, right? So I'm going to ask for a little bit of crowd participation here. And it's important. I want you to put some things in the chat. So, do you believe that Plexus products can help people? I want you to put a yes in the chat if you know Plexus can help people. You are affirming that belief. You've probably seen it in yourself. You've seen it in your friends. You've seen it in your team, right? When you talk to someone about the products, this belief is the difference between you saying, oh, hey, I'm really not sure if this can help you, but right, there's doubt there, right? Or, hi, I saw you've been struggling with migraines. My friend Jody hasn't had a migraine in years thanks to Plexus, and I think it'll really help you. Can I send you her story and maybe some information for you to take a look at? Right? Totally different. Okay, the posture is totally different. You can feel the difference there. The language is different. Your belief in the products will show up in your messaging. It'll show up in your posting. And part of your product belief is going to come from reading and sharing testimonies. That's why sharing testimonies is so important. Listen to even Diamond documentaries. I know it's a financially based video, but a lot of them have their product story in it also. And you need to be consistent with your own products. And if something's not working, troubleshooting that and understanding how and why and looking for other stories similar to yours so you can learn from those people. And a side note about stories real quick. People can object to the cost of Plexus. People can object to an ingredient in Plexus. You know what they can never object to? What Plexus has done for you or someone you know. Those are your stories. You own them. No one can argue with that. No one's going to argue with your genuine enthusiasm and your personal results. That cannot be disputed. So I want you to confidently take your products, share stories often because stories relate to people. And you can be brand new, excited for what it's going to do for you and share stories of things that you relate to and you're looking forward to. That is just fine, but nobody can steal that from you, okay? So that's an important piece of this is your confidence in the products. Second thing, do you believe that the Plexus opportunity can change your family's financial picture? I want you to put a yes in the comments if you believe and trust in this business opportunity. If you are ashamed of network marketing, it's going to be real hard to confidently present this business opportunity to people. It is a legitimate job. My husband, Jason, Jody, Kelly, Cassie, Kyle, and I make doctor salaries on part-time hours staying home with our kids. It is the real deal, okay? You need to have belief in what network marketing can offer you and offer other people. And sure, some people have like a bad taste in their mouth about it because maybe they've been burned before by a past company or don't understand what it is, but it's our job to do things right so people see how Plexus is different. And you don't have to have dual income to share your financial story, right? Like, how did that first silver or gold paycheck feel? Or senior silver now? That's helping someone pay for groceries, finally have a date night with their husband and pay for a babysitter, pay their car payment that month, or extra cash towards debt. That is huge for a lot of people. Okay, I would argue to say that most people would find an extra couple $100s per month as pretty life-changing for their family. Okay, so what are we doing keeping this to ourselves? What do we have to be ashamed of when we're all living that and keeping it private, right? Never underestimate your story or the power of this business. You have got to be messaging people about Plexus and including the opportunity out of that unshakable belief that this can be the answer to someone's prayers. This could be exactly what they need, okay? And how selfish would it be of us to keep that to ourselves, right? When it's an opportunity that could help someone. Okay, lastly, do you believe that you will be successful at this? I want you to put a yes in the comments if you believe that you will be successful. Okay, was that easy for you to type that? Did it cause some slight hesitation? Did you type yes with your eyes closed? Like, We're gonna dig into why that might be. This is the most important piece of this puzzle. I can sit here all day long and say, I believe in you, you can do this, here are the tools, you have everything in you. Your upline can sit there all day long and say that they believe in you. But if you do not have belief in yourself, you will not be getting very far. It is going to be very, very difficult to engage, post, message people if your confidence is in the trash, okay? So question, why are you lacking belief in this area? And I want you to be conscious of the things that you might be telling yourself that are excuses, flat out lies, circumstances that either don't matter or can actually be changed altogether, right? There are jewels and diamonds at the very top of this company that have had every excuse in the book not to be successful, but they've done it anyway. And the work is so worth it. It might be a little bit uncomfortable to realize we've been making excuses all this time, that we can push that aside and actually act in a different way, right? But it might be hard to hear, but you're not the only one with your same problems, okay? Neither am I, right? There's an overwhelming amount of people who have struggled with the same belief problems as each of us. But what will determine your success is if you're willing to face that and change it and overcome it. We need to consciously shift into joy and gratitude and hope. So this comes across in our activities and then directly our results. When we're posting, engaging, messaging from a positive and grateful place, we are more productive and we're more successful. So are you guys committed to recognizing negative mindsets that you might have allowing yourself to move past them to achieve your goals? I want you to commit to not giving into excuses, to not giving into a negative mindset, to not say, I'm not good at this, I can't do this, I don't know that, I'm not as so-and-so as her, I'm not enough, right? Get rid of that garbage, okay? Any of us could come up with all those stories. I have too many kids, I have no time, I work full time, I blah, 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 right? All the things, everybody's got all the things, but I want you to get rid of that right now, okay? And let's dream big for May. So hopefully you've already done this, but if you haven't, make sure you're writing down your point growth goal and your personal enrollment goals for May, because looking at those is important. And understanding what those mean for you and your family, what that means for your team, what it means for you as a leader, right? We've kind of gone over that in a past goal setting Zoom, but it's important to write it down. It's important for your eyes to see your hand writing it on a piece of paper. And for that to be maybe sitting wherever you work. on the top of your calendar, on the top of your planner, on a sticky note on your computer, whatever that means for you, right? Personally enrolling 3 or 6 this month because of the cash bonuses is a great place to start. But I want you to look at what else needs to happen besides your personal enrollments to achieve the goals you have set and identify team members to work with, right? Don't forget about all that. But we're gonna have a chat about activities. Not so much numbers, we're gonna have to talk about activities, but it relates to your numbers because your activities produce your results, right? So with your goals written and your mindset and belief in the right place, how are you gonna work your business the rest of the month? First, are you going to specifically block out a time every day to work Plexus with no distractions? Or are you going to fit it in when you have time? Which one do you think is going to lead you to be more successful? You'll probably be more successful when you schedule your work hours in and hold yourself to that. Talk to your family, talk to your kids, talk to your husband, talk to your coworkers in the staff room at work and say, hey, I'm going to eat lunch in my car because I need to listen to this training and write out my goals for the month and maybe make sure I, have some work done. Okay. Don't be ashamed of what you have here. This goes back to the belief in the opportunity. You see how this is all wrapping up together? If you aren't putting your foot down and asking for what you need, especially to the spouses, okay, you're not going to get it. That's the thing. So you got to want it and you got to believe in it. And if you're working with team members, would any of them benefit from having online events in a group or in Messenger, right? Let's make a note to ask them this week and get events on the books in the next week or so. Okay, so who are those people? What events do they have lined up? Even if they're your senior gold or Ruby level 1 and you think, oh, they got it, they're running their team. No. What event can you put together with them? Who are they working with that might need assistance? Where can you step in and guide or coach or offer a helping hand? Are they on a summer vacation or a spring vacation and they need somebody to run an event for their new girl, Sally, that really just got started and is off to a great start? Awesome, step in and help, right? Because you believe in this business opportunity and you believe that you will be successful and you are a wonderful leader that can help people find that success, okay? Next, I want you to commit to posting every single day. Guys, social media is the storefront of your business. If you are not visible, you are not open, okay? If you're somebody who's feeling like you keep having to come up with posts last minute and take 5 minutes and throw something up there and you feel like you need to post just to post, let's be done with that, okay? Take 30 minutes tonight and write out 2 to 3 posts for the next couple of days and do it again on Friday through the weekend or through Monday, right? For personal posts, tell lots of stories, use vivid imagery and really descriptive language. People can relate to you and see themselves in your content, right? And then use the 5 fun facts posts that Cassie's doing on the Rise Plexus community page, right? Easy, if you want like the easiest option. Toss some testimonies in there, specifically business testimonies would be great too, right? And you're good. And you only took, 30 minutes tonight and 30 minutes 3 days from now, and you've got posts scheduled. Okay, or if you can do a week at a time, great. If you can plan out a month at a time, awesome. I like to write them out in my calendar or print off a calendar and write out what types of posts I'm doing each day so that I'm not like searching for things. And then when I sit down to map out content, I know the types of posts that I want to be sharing over the next few days. So I make a blueprint for myself that I don't really have time to fill in the whole month. I haven't gotten into that habit, but I've gotten into the habit of doing a few days at a time. That works for me. I can do a Monday, Tuesday, plan out through about Friday, and then Friday, Saturday, plan out, through the beginning of the next week. That kind of jives with me and my work schedule, but whatever works for you, figure it out so you're not feeling so last minute. Because last minute, hurried, desperate posts that lack authenticity don't perform well. Okay, so remember that. Your attitude, your belief, your confidence, the feelings that you have when you're doing the work come across in the work that is done. So we need to adjust that a little bit, right? And these are the feelings that cause us to get derailed mid-month. That 2.5 weeks in, we're thinking, I haven't sponsored anybody yet. I don't really know what I'm doing. I feel so busy. My kids are crazy. Everybody got sick, blah, 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 right? We do that all the time. And then it's like week 3 and you're like, what happened? I'm not cut out for this. I'm just not a good leader. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Sponsor, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, can you tell me again what my IPAs are? Like, no, you know what to do. Keep your head on straight, plan for success. Okay. Lastly, let's talk about connecting with people. So if you've just been like posting and praying for people to come to you, I'm sorry, that's not going to work in the long run. Okay. It might have worked when you first started, or to go silver, senior silver, maybe gold, right? But for long-term business success, you're going to need to expand your network, build relationships with those people, and ask for the sale. Okay. And this might feel kind of hard, it might sting a little bit, but the post and pray method, in my opinion, is extremely selfish. It is, look at me, my posts are so great, everyone will come to me, I assume everyone's going to just come want everything I have to offer. No, you can make the best posts in the world, but people are not going to outwardly offer their personal health issues to a stranger on the internet. Okay? You have got to foster that connection, and you have got to ask them if it's something they're interested in, if it's something worthwhile looking into, because you've gotten to know them and their health issues and their life situations and all of that, right? So what you basically need to take a look at is your sales funnel. Newsflash, you're in sales if you didn't know that, right? So if you're attaching any type of meaning to being a salesperson, get rid of that. That is a mindset issue all in of itself, right? Okay. You are selling products. You are selling an opportunity. All right. Own it. But you've got a sales funnel, right? So you've got the sales funnel like this, and you're adding followers, right? Adding friends. You start building trust with them, and they're coming down. You start making a connection with some of them. More of them are like, okay, these are my people, right? Some of them become potentials. They're getting way down in the funnel, right? You're talking to them specifically about Plexus. Then you follow up until they purchase and they're on your team, or they're not interested anymore. That's fine. It's okay if people aren't interested, right? I'm going to help you map out your enrollment goals by working kind of backwards through this funnel. Say your goal is 6 personal enrollments, right? Let's all go for 6 or more. But how about 6 under you and 6 under your husband? Everybody do that. Okay. No, but I found that in my last 5.5 years with Plexus, that 1 to 2 out of every 10 solid potentials of mine ends up purchasing in the current month. Okay. Either as a customer or an ambassador. So these are people I'm actively having a conversation with about Plexus. Like, I'm answering their questions, I'm recommending products, I'm giving them pricing, I'm helping them purchase, right? So if you're going for 6 enrollments, I suggest at least making a list of about 30 people as your hot list for May. I go for about 20 if it's like add your 3, but 30 or more for May is a solid start. There'll always be some kind of randoms that come along the way, but that happens when you're intentionally working, intentionally posting, intentionally engaging, right? That's when those randoms come along, and this person, I get this every so often. And actually probably once every couple of months, I have somebody out of the blue I've never spoken to ever. Like, I'm not intentionally engaging with them. And they say, hey, I've been watching, I'm ready to start. What do you recommend? Sign me up. And it's all in one day. Okay. It's because I take the time to thoughtfully open the doors of my business, post engaging, valuable content, and expand my network with the right people who relate to me. Okay. So that's how that happens. And when we start doing all of that, you'll notice that this potentials list starts to grow and grow and grow, and people come to you already sold on your products because you've been doing such a good job marketing your business, right? So if you're thinking, oh man, I don't have 30 potentials, now is the time to work on that, okay? If you've got a planner or IK sheets like me, you can go back and see who you've been talking to about Plexus that hasn't jumped in yet, right? Add those people to your list. If any of those people said no, I'll give you some verbiage at the end of this to kind of adjust when you connect with them in the future if they're not quite ready or something's going on in their life, which is totally normal. But if you still don't have at least 30 people, you're going to take a look at who you've been engaging with lately, their content, their stories, both. Engagement in stories is like the winner because getting in their inbox is like better than a random comment in the flood of comments on Facebook, but do both. I think that's great. And who you feel you've got some type of connection with that isn't a total like internet stranger, right? And if you're thinking, ooh, I don't have any people like that. Well, ding, 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 that gives you an idea of what you need to be working on, right? So you need to start going through maybe your friends list or something and look for the people that fit your demographic, your ideal client. Your ideal customer is probably strikingly similar to yourself, okay? There's a reason you can speak to that person's issues, that person's demographic, that person's lifestyle, that person's everything, right? Because you went through it and you can speak to those stories, right? Or people really close to you went through that. So find those people and then make a note. So I personally do all my engaging on the weekends because I do a lot of my like intense IPAs Monday through Friday. It works for my schedule, and I do engaging on the weekends. And so I write in all those people. I have a list of about 20 people or more, 20 to 25 people every weekend that I'm intentionally engaging with their content every single week. So I want you to start doing that. I want you to know who you're engaging with. You're not willy-nilly engaging with one person every other Tuesday. That's a different person every time, right? You want repeated engagements, building connection, strengthening, right? And this is when you start to see more of their content, and then their stories start popping up first on the list. And then you're messaging them through their stories. And you start to understand who they are, where they're from, what they deal with, right? What their issues are. So these are the people that you build relationships with, build connection with, and then now is the time to ask them about Plexus. You can ask your sponsor upline for message examples, but this is why I love online events and sending samples. There are easy ways that don't feel any type of pressuring or a needy way to ask people about Plexus for the first time. Offering samples, you're giving them a gift, first of all, and online events are such a passive way for them to gain information. But as you engage with people and build that connection, you also start to understand how Plexus can help them. So, they might share about how they're a busy mom, they have headaches, they're tired all the time, they get sick really often. And that's why building trust and connection is so important, because you can appeal to that. I saw that you struggle with XYZ. It helped my friend Rachel with that. I'd love to share her story with you. And we're also having this informational event tonight. Would you be interested in me adding you to the page so you can just check it out? I think it might help you a lot, right? Not gross, right? It's very natural. Use natural language. Don't be weird. And if you're feeling weird about reaching out to someone about Plexus, it's probably because you haven't established enough of a connection between the two of you yet. So if you're stuck feeling like you've got no potentials, it's time to start doing the networking part of network marketing, right? So, and I understand that happens, especially in the beginning, up through gold, senior gold. I would say that I kind of went through my entire close network by about the time I was between gold and senior gold. And I was like, all right, I got to make a new bubble for myself. And basically, once you've gone through your warm market, you expand that bubble, right? But all these people out here are kind of cold connections, right? And so you need to bring them in closer by engaging and getting them closer to you. And the important thing to do is when you expand your network with people just like you, because then they're going to relate to you more. Instead of adding everyone and their dog to your Instagram and Facebook who aren't going to engage with you and relate to you, it's going to be hard to establish those connections when you have no relationship with these people and nothing common between the two of you, right? So grow your network with people that are directly your ideal customer. Okay, so that's going to be the important thing if you're in that phase. And I am constantly in that phase. I'm constantly adding new friends and engaging and bringing people closer. So my funnel is always flowing. But if you stop any of those activities, you're stuck in this space of I have nobody to talk to. I have no potentials. I don't know what to do, right? But adding new people that fit in your ideal customer profile and engaging with them, developing connections, that is the important part. So some of you, though, are stuck. Here's your funnel. You're stuck right about here. You're adding people, you're having conversations, and you're never bringing up Plexus. You're just talking and chit-chatting, talking about the weather and their kids and vacation and distance learning, and they went to Disneyland and they hated the masks and da-da-da-da-da-da, right? You're going to be stuck here forever if you don't just ask them, okay? Hey, I'm having this event, or I'm sending samples, or I saw you posted about XYZ. Would you be interested in learning more about Plexus or giving it a try, or whatever the context is, right? Just ask, okay? They might say yes, they might say no, whatever the context is, it doesn't matter, and do not take it personally. Their level of readiness means nothing about you or your business. Let go of that, okay? They either don't have enough information, they don't really think it's something they would be committed to. Maybe they're chronically inconsistent about everything they do, so they don't have enough belief in themselves. They need more exposure to your posts, or maybe there's somebody who would really benefit from a sample or an online event, right? If they're like, nah, they're probably just really unfamiliar with it, or they've been burned a bunch in the past, so they tried everything under the sun, and they're like, no, I can't try one more thing. And that's where the objections should guide your content. Okay, so think about the things that you're sharing and allow the objections to guide the communication that you're putting out there, the marketing that you're putting out there. because you want people in your network who are getting slowly sold one drip at a time. Okay. Where they come to you when you reach out about them, they're saying, yes, I've been watching you and I have debilitating back pain and IBS and I've been so curious, and boom, there you go, another person for your list of 30. And they're like halfway sold, right? Because like I said before, people don't go around like advertising their problems, okay? Nor do they spill their issues to strangers on the internet. Okay, so this is why it's important to both build connection with someone so they trust you and ask if they'd be interested in exploring Plexus. But if you have no relationship with them, the odds of them being open to it are very, very, very slim. Okay, if you want to go cold message into oblivion, have at it, but you can guide your activities in a much more purposeful manner to where you are actually having the opportunity to help people that need what you have to offer at a higher rate and see more success in your business. And people who are more excited to share about it because they're seeing the results that you told them about, right? So you're going to take this list of 30 and engage with them at least weekly on their content and stories, like minimum weekly, right? And be personally connecting with them every like 3 to 5 days about personal life or Plexus, depending on the conversation, right? Remember, this list of 30 aren't like strangers on the internet. You need to like find the people you're close to. And if you haven't talked to them about Plexus yet, you're talking to them about Plexus and getting a conversation going. Okay. You'll start to understand who's ready and who's open to jumping in, who's not. Okay. For the people who are interested, you're asking them about their health issues, their lifestyle, their medications, their goals. If the products you recommend sound right for them, if you can help them order today. For the people who aren't, you ask them what might be holding them back. What is the hesitance there? What other information can you provide? Or when a better time might be to reconnect with them in the future. Ask, ask, ask. And you'll be surprised at how much you receive. Okay, so here's your challenge for the week. I want you to schedule your work hours through next Monday. I want you to know when you're working, how much you're working, take a look at it. Is that enough time to get everything done you need to get done? If you're like, oh my gosh, we're like going on vacation all Mother's Day weekend. We'll be out of town for 3 days. When am I doing that, right? What's the schedule there? If you're going to do it when you have time at the end of the day, guess what? You're not going to have time at the end of the day. Newsflash, you won't have time. So schedule it in, time block, let your family know, let your husband know, let your in-laws know, let all the people know, right? Plan your posts for at least the next couple days. If you can plan it for the next week through next Tuesday, awesome. So you're not coming up with them last minute. Even if you're saying, okay, I'm going to post each of the 5 fun facts things about, all the products that Cassie's posting, great, plan on that and go find them on that day, right? They're pretty easy copy and paste posts. So that's like lowest barrier to entry option. I would sprinkle in some testimonies and some business posts in there, by the way. Create your list of 30 people, write it down in your planner or your IP sheets or whatever you use, and you'll be engaging and following up with them. Okay. And commit to stepping out in confidence to ask people if they are interested, if you can help them, or if they're ready to purchase. Okay. Even the people, I know you get ghosted sometimes, and then you check in with them about personal life to get the conversation going again. And I get it. And then you're like, oh, we talked about Plexus before, but I haven't brought it up in a while. I'll just say, hey, Rachel, I know we talked about you getting started with that Renew Essentials package in the past, and it wasn't a great timing for you. Do you think now is a better time for you to get started? They're going to say yes or no. And if they ghost you, the answer is no. Like, don't be like, oh, they're ghosting me. Well, they're not ready. Like, clearly, if they were ready, they would say yes. So like, move along and get your feelings out of it. Okay. Anyway, that is all I had for today. Is there any questions in there? Oh yeah. Pre-planning posts helps. Yes. All the truth bombs. Sometimes we need the truth bombs, we do all have our own funk to work through. Okay. We all are different people coming from different backgrounds and different situations and different struggles and different viewpoints. And so we've all got our stuff and yeah, Corky, like being stuck in the friend zone. That is exactly, you're going to get stuck in the friend zone if you don't ask them to like, I was going to say SHIT or get off the pot. I was going to say that, but you know what I mean? Anyway, it's like that. So you need to level up, have some confidence, ask for the sale. But I want you to be cognizant of earning the right to ask for the sale. That's where people feel yucky and salesy and hustly and gross, is when they are asking people for sales that they have poured no relational equity into. Everybody's got their own relationship bank. Okay. And if you're going to ask for a withdrawal, you better have filled it up first. So if you aren't doing that, then you're not going to have a lot of going around asking for withdrawals from all these people that you haven't poured anything into. Okay. So does anybody have any questions or anything? Anything they want to say or share or whatever?
So I have a question. So one of my ambassadors, and she is just awesome, but she keeps hitting that point where, you know, she feels like she's failed if she hasn't helped somebody get the result that they're looking for. And I think you could really speak to this, Allie, because like, as much as I know you work with people to troubleshoot and all that, there's going to be times where they just decide they're not getting whatever result. Like, how do you navigate that?
So I would first ask her why she feels that she has failed. And why is it making her feel that way? If someone else's habits, why are someone else's habits in their health making her personally feel inside like a failure? Because there's some type of connection there where she's connecting someone else's commitment level to her failure in her business. And she needs to detach from that and also give her all the tools she needs to help people be successful, and let her know that you can provide all the troubleshooting tools. If someone is being inconsistent, we ask them why. We give them tools to be successful. We give them, you know, all of our best tips for staying consistent, or all the troubleshooting tips, and plug them in. But if they make the choice to not do those things, it is not our fault. It's just like if someone is saying no to Plexus, it's not our fault for the decisions that they're making, right? And different people are going to be in different levels of their level of felt need to be successful at this, right? And they might not be at this rock bottom point where they feel like total garbage and they don't want to put every effort into being successful at Plexus, because their life is not a place where they want to do that right now. And that's okay. And you know what the best thing about those people is, they give us learning opportunities to help the next person who has the same objections. I'm sure I certainly did not do the best for people right in the beginning. But now I've gotten really good at helping people troubleshoot products. And when they say, I just can't seem to drink my pink drink every day, I give them so much more advice and better tips. And why are you not getting in? When would be a good time for you to drink it? Why do you think you're skipping out on it? Da, 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 right? Like, ask more coaching questions, but it doesn't mean anything about me. You know, it's like, if I love oranges and they say, no, I actually really love apples, I'm not like, how dare you? You know, like, it's fine. Like, whatever, they can make their own choices, but it's my job to do the best ability that I can to help them be successful. And sometimes asking the question, would you like me to help you be successful? Would you like me to help you troubleshoot to get the results that you're looking for? Would you like me to help you learn some tips to be more successful or more consistent? Asking them. And sometimes they're like, you know what? No, I just can't. My mind is not there right now. I don't have the bandwidth for it. And sometimes people want to quit and they cancel. And I say, can I at least help you use up the products that you have? I say that a lot. And then by the end of the month, they're like, oh yeah, okay, I think I will get another bottle of the BioCleanse or whatever, right? And they start kind of slowly inching back. So I have learned to not take someone's defensive objection personally, and to truly ask them more coaching questions and exploring if they even want to be successful, because they might be self-sabotaging, and it is so not your fault if someone is sabotaging themselves, right? That is not, you cannot take, like Corky said, we cannot take credit for someone's failure in the same way we cannot take credit for their success, right? Like, you're an ambassador who you're like, she's doing so well. Would you say like, that's all your fault that she's doing so well? No, like, she's a rock star. She did that, you know, she created that success. And so don't take credit for everybody's failure when you shouldn't be taking credit for their success. You know what I mean? That's a really good point of view, Corky. So that conversation would be a really good one for her to have. If someone's feeling like, oh, I failed them, or I'm, you know, not giving this one person the results that they're looking for, Why do you feel that way? Do you feel like we've offered them everything we can? Do you feel like we've been helpful? Do you feel like we've given them tips and tools and support? If the answer is yes, then that's all you can do. You can't make choices and move somebody's body for them. That's impossible. I wish I could do that. And also, for everybody, but especially new people who run into this, where like everybody's getting great results and then somebody like doesn't and quits and it's a total bummer, right? We forget about all the positive when we think of like the 1 or 2 people who quit. And when someone quits on themselves, oftentimes it's because they said yes to Plexus in a time that might not have been right for them. And loving them where they're at and supporting them and staying in contact with them really opens the door or keeps the door open for them to come back when they are ready. After doing this for years, a lot of people come back because they said yes at a time when it was just not ideal for them to be adding another thing for them to remember. And as much as we want to say like, it's so simple, like it's a pink drink and 2 supplements at bedtime, like that's wonderful. But for anybody making any kind of change in their life, change looks like it's such a high stepping stone, no matter what it is, even if it was 1 pink drink in the morning. Any change takes a lot. It takes a lot to be moving in one direction and then try to like pivot back up and change direction, right? That's a lot for people. So remember that. It doesn't stop when they say yes, right? Your customer care doesn't stop just when they say yes. I essentially treat my people like potentials through like their 4th month. I'm talking to them like every 3 days, working through every single thing, being the most supportive cheerleader in their life. And if I know that I did all of that and they decide it's not for them, it's not on me. Okay. So the failure feeling might be coming from being new and not understanding that. But also sometimes it can creep in if we know that we're not giving our business our all. That if we haven't talked to our new ambassador in 2.5 weeks and turns out they have horrible detox and they want to quit. That can happen like that too. And so sometimes it's like, well, how can we avoid that next time? Let's be proactive and talk to them every 2 days instead of every 2 weeks. And maybe we can walk them through that. So let's keep moving forward. Let's learn from this and kind of pivot and do better next time. Yes, I'm going to post this meeting and you can write down all the things. Hopefully that was helpful, Heidi. Some verbiage and some questions. Okay, good. Anybody else have anything else they would like to ask or say? All right. Thank you guys for showing up. Proud of you guys. Have a good week.